Source players, elite source players, you gotta protect your energy. You know, there's people out here who are just trying to like kill you. Like you're a target. They see you and they see a target. Like they see like a open they look at you like fresh meat, like you're fresh off the block, like you're ready, like you're a meal, you're someone that they want to eat. It's like it's really a dog eats dog world out here. Um, like it's like I like now I understand. Like I was watching a couple of videos about targeted individual, and then today it was very clear to me that I'm a target individual. Um, you know, today I got incident with the police again in 2 years, right? 2 years, 2 years. I'm not trying to do the peace sign. I'm putting two fingers up because in 2 years, last year and this year, I had 4 incidents with cops. Four. Um, and they're all for bullshit, like just like nonsense. Like, um, you know, one was black on black crime, where this officer, this guy, the bus driver, he called the cops on me because I was eating on the bus, and he told the cop that he doesn't want me on his bus because I was eating on the bus and other people eat on the bus. Another incident was when the bus driver followed me off the bus to follow me home, threatened me, right? Because I spoke up for the other people, and I spoke up for the older people, and I spoke up about how he went up a kid's face, and he didn't like that, right? So he followed me off the bus. They fired him, and then I had his I had a visit. Then he visited me, and I think he apologized, something like that. Like it's like his higher self was like thanking me for doing that because I felt like he was too dangerous to drive, and the way he was driving, he was going to kill people, right? Um, and that's why his higher self thanked me when they visit. And then last year, this happened. 3 of these incidents happened last year, right? And then over the winter time, somewhere around there, or the year before it was, or around the same year, maybe 3 year span period or whatever. I was walking from work, and I just got home from work, right? 2 cars pulled up on me. In my old channel, I'll talk about that. I'm gonna bring all my videos from my old channel to this channel. 2 cars, police cars, pulled up on me on the spot, like it was like Grand Theft Auto or an action movie. Like they was ready to pull out guns blazing. Like they were literally the way they came at me. Like they was ready to like they were ready for like for action. Like there was no like there was ready, like it was the type of the way they came at me is like no action. They ready to take their guns out and shoot me. That's the level. That's how they came at me, right? And I'm like, what the hell going on here? And they said that I robbed the store, right? And they were ready to arrest me. Um, and then this time, today was, I was basically, I was basically Okay, so the bus broke down, right? This bus company always having issues. You're waiting 2 or 3 hours for the bus, right? Every couple of days the bus breaks down. They excuse the bus breaks down. But you see a bunch of these buses driving down a certain location, 5 buses going to the same location, and then there's no buses coming back up, right? So then and there's always issues with the buses. So then the bus breaks down and the bus is late, right? Uh, so it's almost an hour, right? So it's like actually it was the bus was supposed to come at uh 8:56. The bus didn't come, so it's almost so the next bus comes at 9:40, right? 9:40, 45, somewhere around there. They're always late. So it's almost, I think, almost 10 o'clock, right? So it's almost another hour. I'm inside by the door where you go wait for the bus. So I'm running for the bus, right? And the bus driver, I wave, right? He doesn't stop. So I bang on I bang on the glass. He doesn't stop. So I bang harder. He won't stop. He pulls out, right? He was still in the parking lot. There was a bus in front of him. He pulls out and you hear me banging on the door. So you so you're saying the bus driver told me, right, after the fact, he was trying to pull to the side. That's a lie. That's a fucking lie. Because how can you pull to the side when you're behind the bus? When all you had to do was just let me on the bus. That's it. And then pull out to drive out. That makes no sense. So he pulls out and he wouldn't stop. So I'm banging on the bus. I'm chasing the bus. I get to a point where I run, bang, bang, bang on the window, and I cut right in front of the bus, right? Then he stops. So you're telling me I have to wave, I have to run, I have to bang on the window, bang on the door, so I can catch the bus? So the only way for me to get your attention, you're telling me you didn't hear me banging on the door? You didn't hear me banging on the window? You didn't hear me banging? And then the cop, they defend him. So wait a minute. So what if it was a kid running for the bus? Your policy said don't stop. You're not supposed to stop. But if it was a kid, you wouldn't stop. You don't stop for the kid. You don't stop. So you just keep going. And you see the kid in your rear view. So what if the kid gets hit by a car chasing the bus? Right? So he doesn't. So the only way for me to get his attention, I had to run in front of the bus, right? And when I run in front of the bus, right, I'm yelling, I'm cursing, I'm going off, and he won't stop. So he's trying to move to the side. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, you're gonna have to run me over because I'm tired of this shit. This is not the first time you guys do this. People run and chase for the bus. You guys are always late. The bus breaks down. You guys are never on time. Hours upon hours, people wait for the bus, and you guys never come. Like, so I left home at 8 something, right? I didn't get to work till I left home at 8:35. 8:30, yeah. 8:30, 8:20 something, around that time. I didn't get to work until like 12:21 p.m. So I'm thinking like today's going to be a good day. I was fasting, going on 3 days fast. And I'm like, today's going to be a good day and and everything. And then like this happens. So I'm on the bus. No, I'm outside like saying when I said, listen, I have a mask. Like, why won't you let me on the bus? Why won't you let me on the bus? Like, I ran for the bus. I banged on the window. I waved. I did everything I was supposed to do to get on the bus, and you still won't let me on the bus. What's your excuse? So he tries to move the bus. I'm like, I moved to the other side, and so he says I'm crazy, right? Because I'm like, that's the only way you're gonna listen. You don't take. You see, people. You see, these are the people that you put in power, right? They don't think that there will be people out there that are bold enough or crazy enough to do the right thing, to stand up for what's right, right? They don't think people like that exist because they saw a custom of doing whatever they want and getting away with it. So I said, you better call the cops. I have a video. So a lady, two Jewish ladies, they look like normal people. They didn't wear Jewish clothing or anything, but they were Jewish. And she said, I'm going to record this. Tell her what happened. And she texted me, she said, it's racism. So the bus driver was white, right? They called the supervisor, and it was another guy on the side. He said, why won't you let me on the bus, right? And the black guy spoke to his supervisor, right? You're not going to talk to him or ask the guy what happened? And the supervisor said, I don't talk to crazy people. This was a white guy, right? You don't care what I have to say. So I went off on him too. Like, so you don't care what I have to say, but you're going to care what this other guy has to say because he's white, right? So when the cops come, white officers, right? Listen, I have nothing against white people. It's 2022, but racism still exists. The fact that it's 2022, we're in the age of the internet, right? And the internet has so much information, and it's still racism. It's still racism, and it's sad, right? So the officers go up to the supervisor, like, did you talk to him and ask what happened? He said, no. Why is that? Like, you don't think it's important to find out what happened? Like, well, I don't talk to crazy. Like, so he's making excuses why. So I told the cop what happened. They're always late. They come hours late. The bus always breaks down. Every couple of days, the bus breaks down. That's their excuse. So I'm like, what's his excuse for not? First of all, he's in the wrong. He's late. The bus break down. Right? They're never on time. Every couple of days, they don't show up. GPS don't work. They always have problems with the bus. People are waiting for hours, complaining, and you're telling me you're not on time. You come late, and you're supposed to, and you don't wait. And even if you waited, you saw me, and you won't let me on the bus. So what's your excuse? So at the end of the whole conversation, he said, well, the cop said, well, this is not the way to get your point across. I said, no one listens, right? If you call and make a report, they don't do anything, right? The only way to get their attention, for them to freaking listen, you have to take drastic measures. It's only when you do stuff like this, they take you seriously. They listen. Otherwise, they don't listen. And listen, the only time people listen is when someone gets killed, when someone gets hurt, or if it makes the news, or if it hits the internet. Then they do something. If no one reports it, they don't do anything. Like, I was on the phone last Friday. I waited almost 2 hours for the bus, and it was freaking cold. It was brick outside. And 5 buses went down the opposite direction, down the block, right, towards the other town. And there was no buses that went up the street. And I was so cold. You know what time I got home? I left work at 6 p.m. It took me 4 hours just to get home. From 6 to 10. Right? Just for the bus. That should tell you, like, this is what goes on with the bus company. The bus company is so poor. Rockland Transit Commuter, something like that, is so poor. Like, they do a horrible job. And so when the cops asked, are you gonna let him on the bus? He said no, right? And then he had difficulty letting the other people on it was another black guy and a Hispanic. He didn't want to let them on the bus. So and they said, what's the problem? Why can't you let him on the bus? And then the cop asked, are you gonna let him on the bus? Why won't you let him on the bus? You know what his answer was? I had my mask. I ran for the bus, right? He was willing to hit me. This was a white man. His answer was this. He didn't feel safe. He said he felt threatened. I can't make this up. He said he felt threatened. He said his safety was in jeopardy. He didn't feel safe for me to get on the bus. This is the same guy who was willing to hit me. The same man who saw me running for the bus and wouldn't stop. The same man I had to cut in front of the bus so he would stop. And he's saying, this white man, and the white officers, the white supervisors took his word for it. Because I was black and they were white. This is what we're dealing with. And then no one in the bus said nothing. No one in the bus said, hey, like, what you're doing was wrong. He ran for the bus. He banged on the door. Why won't you let him on the bus? He has his mask. Why won't you let him on the bus? Like, all you could have did was just let him on the bus. That's it. It's that simple. You could have just let him on the bus. What do you have to lose? You made this, the reason he had to go this far because no one's listening, right? And this is not a norm. This is something that happens all the time. People running for the bus, bro. It's so bad that people be running for the bus, and the bus would take their time. They slow, and then they drive up. They love it when you run for the bus because it's a joke to them. They don't stop. They love. This is how demented people are. Like, people are that sick.